Hey everybody, welcome to We've Got the Beat, the podcast devoted to teen entertainment of the 80s and beyond. Back kids!
You're getting
Yay!
better. Good job.
If you don't listen to the show on a regular basis, I have patterns where I screw the show up horribly.
Well, I only listen to it if I'm going to be talking. So.
Yeah, well, whenever I talk about the horror movie segments on my other show, Hit Rewind, well, there's a different intro every single week, and I'm doing it on purpose now just to torture people.
Well, that sounds kind of fun.
So this episode, we're kind of diverting away from movies for a little bit. We're going to be discussing a short-lived TV show from 20-something years ago called Grosse Pointe. And frankly, I think it's a very under-watched show, obviously, because it only lasted one season, but it's almost been completely forgotten. Whole series is available on YouTube, and if you like it, I got mine for just a few bucks on eBay. It was a really nice condition. It is a satire of not just the WB shows that were popular at the time, like Dawson's Creek. It is also kind of going back a little bit to Melrose Place and 90210, because Darren Star, the guy who created this show, is kind of spoofing all the torturous shit that he went through on those shows.
Yeah, it's definitely blending the more mature drama of those shows with the very typical teen drama from well, and they also talk a lot about their competitors at the time too. Within the show, they reference Buffy and Dawson's Creek and stuff like that. So it's definitely blending some things to make a whack ass show that's awesome.
Yeah. Here's the things they pick up is from Dawson's Creek, and that's the biggest one they're spoofing is the damn fog filter, or whatever you want to put it, that gel that they put over the cameras to make it look softer, and the incoherent fucking gibberish dialogue of Dawson's Creek. What were we thinking about loving Kevin Williamson's nonsense back then? No one talks like that.
I don't know.
Nobody talks like that.
I guess just because nobody had done anything like it, it was so, surprising. I don't know.
Yeah, fresh, I guess. But now when you hear it come out of some of the characters' mouth, you're like, oh, no, this is embarrassing. But a lot of it really taps into the drama, especially because this is a behind-the-scenes show of how to put together one of these. And the way the network screws with you, the writer is insecure, he steals ideas. There's cat fighting behind everybody. There's my favorite character of all of this. I'm going to go through the whole cast real quickly. Is the guy who's too old to be on the show by a long shot.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he amuses me so much, but he is very much a Jason Priestley, Keir Smith. The guys that were like a decade older than everybody else in the show and just trying as hard as they possibly can to seem young.
Okay, keep going. Yeah, I don't. He's one of the few people I've seen him before, but really out of most of these people, really did not nearly as much. A lot of these people went on to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, he was a Canadian actor, and his name is Cole Suddeth, and I knew him from Bowfinger. Of course, that's probably where you knew him as well.
Okay, yeah.
But he is in all those Jesse Stone movies that Tom Selleck's in. He's like his deputy.
Oh, well, I've never seen a single one. I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, that's okay. Well, good for him, because there's 18,000 of those.
Yeah, at some point he's got to stop. Tom Selleck's like 75. I don't know why those keep going.
You know what? Tom Selleck is still a heartthrob to some ladies.
17 episodes. Like I said, it's on the WB. Back when that was a thing. Do you remember the war between UPN and WB? Just trying to get stations to pick them up, and they kind of had their the same identity for so long, and then there was that breaking point where once Dawson's Creek hit, that's what the WB was. It was teen-oriented hits, and then UPN became all the sci-fi stuff. Now, mind you, Roswell and Buffy did eventually go over there, but that's more of that type of genre. But that was WB's identity for so long, was teen dramas. And guess what? It still is today as a CW.
Yeah, it has a little more variety because now it has all the superhero series and stuff, but and they still have certain levels the the Buffy version, and then like the Angel counterpart, where there's like some of them are a little softer, and they're like Big Brother that's like kind of intense.
Yeah. And what isn't
So
there also like all the spin-offs, because we have the originals, which is, I think, isn't that a spin-off of
yeah, there's spin-offs, but then there's also remakes, like reboots. There's very little that's like original on the CW at this moment in time. That's for sure.
But back then, this is what really was the identity of the WB. And then Darren Star, hot off the success of Sex and the City, gets greenlit for this show. And I get why it's on the WB, but I think it might have been more successful if it had been over on a cable station where it had more time to breathe. And the satire could have even been sharper.
Yeah, I think that it's confusing a little bit because it's a show within a show, and the show inside is supposed to be about a teen dramedy kind of thing, but the actual show is a lot more about, about the actors, but about everyone involved in the process, the writers, the directors, and they're older, and there's a lot of different drama that may be more actually appealing to adults.
Yeah. And I feel like this could have paired very well with Action from the year before. Two shows because Action was supposed to be on HBO, but Fox offered more money. So they went over there, and of course that ended up killing the show. But I think these two could have been paired so well, like on a Sunday night on HBO.
They do seem very similar in vibe, yes.
Yeah. But this I think is razor sharp in its wit and just really taking down the whole mini genre that was teen exploitation at that time. It really doesn't go after the movies like the way that Not Another Teen Movie would. This is really focused on the TV shows.
Right, yes.
But there is that one moment where Brad Johnson gets that really crappy talking dog. Ted Danson's a talking dog. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. These movies that nobody wants to star in, they'll just go to the WB and offer it to them.
Yeah, and then there was the other one that was like Hunter, when she was like auditioning fiercely for the role in a movie about, oh gosh. Help me here.
I can't remember.
The whole Clinton thing.
Why
Why'd her name just disappear from my brain?
I was just thinking about it the other day. Melly, I was at Melly Lewinsky. That's who would play her in the movie.
Okay, Monica Lewinsky. Thank you. My God. Okay, so there's that whole thing, and it's super weird because she takes it really seriously, and then she starts like gaining weight so she can be curvier, just so she can be more like, I don't know, visually appropriate for the audition. And before she doesn't even get the part, she just gets an audition, but then it goes to her head, and suddenly like a teen sitcom that she's the star of is like beneath her, and it's just like how all the stuff goes to your head so quickly.
Yeah, it's so let's go through the cast real quick. Irene Malloy is they keep saying that she's the main character, but I've always thought it was Marcy was the main character, but
I think it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah. So Irene Malloy, the only thing she did besides this was the unbelievably good Andy Richter Controls the Universe, which I just got done watching. She is actually a musician who just briefly acted, so I don't think she's ever come back.
Oh, it does say that I see in her, when she was a senior in high school, she had a run on Broadway and stuff. I'm seeing that now. Yeah, before these shows.
Yeah, and she's the Shannon Doherty character, all venomous. There's brief moments where I think where she shows some humanity, but she's so weak of soul, I guess. She's constantly just doing like the worst thing she could do. But I do enjoy the episode where her mother came on, and you see where it all came from.
Yeah, you do see that she is a little bit more complex. But yeah, she's so jealous and petty and
Defensive. Very defensive. She's got this wall protecting her. I think that's why she acts out the way she acts.
yeah.
The other, and she's parody, like I said, of Shannon Doherty, who apparently was notoriously awful on Charmed at the time. So that must have been weird.
I mean, I hear that. That's what you hear.
Yeah. William Ragsdale is the writer. He's supposed to be the parody of Darren Star. Of course, William Ragsdale, I think most people know him from Fright Night. I'm always surprised that was a huge hit, and it didn't really do anything for his career. It took him years to really break out. I think it was with, Mannequin 2 wasn't a hit, like in theaters, but I think it's like one of those that was on TV all the time, and then Herman's Head for 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, he started to establish himself around that time as a character actor, but I thought this was a really, really good role for him that kind of separated his previous work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's sort of like a smart ass, but he's smart but also challenged by like what the network lets him do. He's always conflicted. Always conflicted.
Well, he's always got to be on his toes too. Every idea that he has, the studio comes in and mucks it up, either right before it's about to happen or it's already happened. It's like, oh, well, you killed this character off. Now you got to bring him back. It's like, what?
Yes. It's very and it's interesting to see that. Yeah, we knew him from when he was like a teenager. And I didn't realize that he had still been acting like a pretty good amount. And to the point where he's, still doing a bunch of stuff now.
I think that he was on, what's that show? Not Longmire, but the other one that was on FX.
Justified is the longest run that he had later, in more recent years, which I did. I've watched several seasons of that. Recently, I just started actually watching it for the first time, and it's very good.
Oh.
But, tons of stuff I'm seeing that but more like, 1 or 2 episodes here or there.
Hey, as long as you keep working, and some decent stuff. That's the cool part about...
Yeah.
Look, I know he doesn't pay as well as it used to, television shows, but there's more opportunities than there ever was before because all the streaming and the cable channels and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool that actors can still keep going.
Yeah, but also it's just like, I mean, TV has a way different, people look at TV in a totally different way now than they used to.
Yeah, and you don't have to do a full season. You could do 10 episodes and that's your season right there instead of 24 and trying to stretch it out. Something I was watching the other day, I was like, there's no way I could... Oh, Mystery Science Theater 3000. How the fuck did they do 24 episodes a year? It seems like it's so hard to come up with that many jokes, that many movies.
Can you stop for a second?
What's up? Oh. All right, so Al Santos is the one that I don't know outside of this. I don't think I've ever seen him, and he's the Dawson, Brendan Walsh kind of parody. And, I do know. He was in one of those Jeepers Creepers movies. I think it's the second one where they're on the bus. But that's the only other thing I can think of.
Mostly it seems like he was like a model or something.
Yeah, he has a very strange way of talking, and
I know.
I think he's the worst character in this. He does have some redeeming values, though. Because later, when there's an episode where he finds out one of his fans is a young boy who's come out of the closet, he's actually pretty compassionate to him.
Yeah, his attitude at the beginning, just because he was like, it's a boy, and he was a huge dick about it at first, but then over time he does adjust and really comes to that kid's defense.
Yeah, because there's an episode where Courtney, and she talks about it a bunch in the first half of the season, is where, she's from like Iowa, and she came out here to try to make it. And everybody thinks it's just a lark for her. They think that she's just going to get that out of her system and come back. And her boyfriend comes to visit, and he's like just trying to sell his business and whatever, and everything's bullshit. And all these people are fake, and that kid's, oh my, you have a gay fan. That's so stupid or whatever. And she puts her foot down, but it's really Brad that knows his character. What the fuck did I just say his name was? Johnny. Johnny was the one that really came to his defense, and that was necessary because he's the one who I think was the outlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess talk about Bonnie Somerville.
Yeah, what do I know Bonnie Somerville from? I know the name.
I
know
don't
the
know.
face.
She's in tons of stuff. I just don't know what. I mean, I'm looking at her credits right now, and it's like she's been in loads of things, but just a lot of Hallmark movies. My God!
For some reason, I thought she was in one of those like Swiss Valley High TV shows, but maybe I'm thinking of the lady from.
Did you really just say Swiss Valley High?
What's the name of it? What's it called? Sweet Valley High. Sweet Valley High.
That's funny. That's funny for more than one reason because wow, close but so very far. And also, I just read today that they're doing a TV show. They're making Sweet Valley High into a TV show, and it's like the people who did like I don't know, fucking OC or something. So it's gonna be racy.
Okay.
Anyway,
so what's up with that? They're having like the new they're rebooting all these kids shows, but like a more mature version of it.
It's all those stories that people know, but they're making them way mature and not very much like the stories at all. Like Nancy Drew, they started a Hardy Boys show.
Come on, somebody get the three investigators, damn it.
I know, right? I don't know. I think the three investigators are too young to accomplish the dark twist that they want. Because, like, I mean, Riverdale from Archie is just like, what the fuck is this? It's like, it's barely Archie.
Wow.
Anyway, I think what you may know her from is Kitchen Confidential, that short-lived show.
Oh, right. Was that Cooper? Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because it's the only thing that I know I watched all of. I know she was in a show called In-Laws. She was in the OC for 5 episodes, 7 episodes of Friends. I mean, nothing super substantial.
Okay, I guess it's just one of those faces that's constantly around and somehow I see her.
She was on 20 episodes of NYPD Blue, but I don't really think we ever watched that.
No, I watched like the seasons with Yep, my brain's gone. My brain is fucking gone. L.A. Law. The Star Wars movies. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, yeah. You mean,
Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits. I was going to say, because I've been watching a lot of Jimmy Smits unintentionally lately. Wait, there's a Nash Bridges movie? What?
I know there's a reunion. Something going on.
Oh my God. After a year as a civilian, old Nash is back in SFPD's SIU to investigate a series of unrelated murders. That's coming out this year.
How old is Don Johnson? Come on, retire. So her character is not the one that I recognize because I've seen bits and pieces of 90210, but I've never seen Melrose Place or anything like that. So some of these parodies are lost on me. So I don't know Tiffany Amber Thiessen's character. That's what it says here on Wikipedia. Is she supposed to be like her? I thought she reminds me of more of what's the character that was she was in Jason versus Freddy. She was a short brunette. She was in a bunch of horror movies for a bit, but she's the one that was always on Dawson's Creek being the pain in the ass. I think she died in a car accident or something.
Monica Keena?
Yeah, she seemed more like that character in her attitude.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It says Jenny Garth as the person. Now that seems more. I can understand that one more. Jenny Garth always seems like she's a middle America farm girl kind of thing that came out to Hollywood.
Yeah, and I think that there's definitely some similar people on like Melrose Place, like what's her name, Courtney Thorne Smith, maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of. Nice girl kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen that show. I wonder if it's any good.
It's so funny though how the character Courtney is so nice and kind and excited and everything, and then the character she plays is such trash.
Yeah, but I do notice that about 3 or 4 episodes towards the end, Courtney starts to wise up and she starts ditching some of that fish out of water feeling where she's starting to get more savvy.
I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm just saying how wildly different she is to her character on the show.
Yeah. Lindsay Sloan plays Marcy/Kim. Obviously, this one's the most obvious. I didn't even have to guess was the Tori Spelling spoof. I love her character, even though she's clearly a neurotic mess who gets
Yeah.
in her own damn way, and she gets pushed around all the time by Hunter. And I just, I feel sorry for her character. I think her and Dave are supposed to be the heart of the show, I guess. But like Dave starts off as kind of a dipshit. The first couple episodes, you really don't like him, and I think they're working overtime just to get him to be nice again. Or nice or whatever, for the audience to find him appealing enough to have a relationship, a potential relationship with Marcy.
I think they probably just didn't really know what the direction was at first, and they had to try to start tweaking people's characters and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a lovable ding-dong, but yeah, pretty clueless and aimless, and
well,
they like each other, but then they just dance around it forever.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to warn you now, the show leaves on a cliffhanger that will annoy the crap out of you, but there's so much good story before that, you're okay. You kind of assume that it's going to end up a certain way, you know, if they had like 5 more episodes, but it does leave it kind of a downer. Though I do find the fact that I love the cameos. Like they had the cast from Popular, kicking their ass in volleyball. They had Jason Priestley as a sex addict. Elizabeth Berkley in the final episode where she's just, I don't give a shit about Hunter, just give me my money, but I gotta be there on time, you know, the desperation.
Kristen Davis.
Thank you. Oh, is that the one where he? What's the one where he poops in the bathroom or something and won't flush? And was that hers?
It's the PA guy. The PA guy goes in there to use goes in there to use his bathroom in his office, and then William Ragsdale's character thinks that it was her.
Oh, right, okay.
And then makes it super awkward because he kind of has a crush on her, and she likes him, and he asks her out, but then he can't deal with it because he's like, she pooped in my bathroom. Like, I don't know.
Really
it was like really awkward. I don't know. It was funny. Sarah Michelle Gellar was in there.
Yes. That I gotta tell you right now,
lot.
as a yoga person, I have tried so many times to do that walk while in the arch. I cannot do it. I will blow my shoulder out. I am guaranteeing you. I cannot. I can do the arch. I can't do the walk.
I thought you were gonna have a blowout, like a poop blowout.
Well, those move. That's a pretty wicked move. I could poop my pants. Did I say that on air? Oh my god. Lindsay
Whatever.
Sloan,
we all poop.
yeah, I think Lindsay Sloan's the one that's got the most, work and exposure. Because she was in movies. Because I think what she broke out with, Bring It On, right? That's kind of first saw her.
I would say Bring It On, yes, but also it's like the least. I mean, I don't know that she's ever really played a character like that again. You know?
Yeah, but she was
Horrible
like a
Bosses.
Bully
Who was super popular. Yeah, she's been in tons of stuff. She's not like a household name, but she's a very, I think she has a recognizable face.
Yeah.
And she's done lots of stuff.
When she got the plastic surgery, and you can do whatever you want with your face, but she doesn't look as unique as she did here. I thought she looked perfectly fine. And then she took off the tip of her nose or whatever, and she just kind of makes her look a little more average, and it's hard to have something that stands out. I don't mean your nose, I just mean, a look that's unique. And I was kind of like, aw, dang.
I don't think I realized that. I don't know that I paid that much attention, but that's too bad. The pressure that people get put under to, look like you, but look like somebody else all at the same time.
Yeah.
Be unique, but be an exact version of this other person. Like, how Monica Potter looks just like Jennifer, she looks just like oh god, I just
Julia
forgot.
Roberts, like a lower...
Julia Roberts with blonde hair.
Yeah, or the one that always killed me was Brad Rowe. You're just a more affordable Brad Pitt.
Yes.
So to finish up the cast, we have Cole Suddeth, as like I said, from Bowfinger and those cop movies. his character is hardly redeemable in any way whatsoever.
He's so awful.
He is, and his whole thing about his wig, fucking, is ridiculous. Or okay, so he has a pet pig. That's about it. That's the only he actually cares about something other than himself. But he does one of the most devious fucking things. He runs over an old lady and then says, "Shut up! We're gonna run away from this," and blames it on somebody else. What an asshole!
But not only does he pretend like he didn't do it, but then he pretends like he saved her.
Yeah.
And then
that's
gets
right. You have
credit
the
as
news.
being a hero.
Yeah. Well, and then there's the one episode where he farts and he blames it on Hunter and becomes a war between the two. And just he is the worst part of the show, but he's also so bad that it's a little amusing.
You're covering it again.
I did. Sorry.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. He's just so vain and so lame.
Kyle Howard.
Everybody's just trying so desperately to like stay relevant, and they're all so desperately scared that at any minute they're gonna not be relevant anymore. Like when his character Quentin does that charity thing, and you're just like, okay, like you just are so desperate to glom onto anything to get your name out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the way it is now. I can't imagine. That was 20 years ago. I can't imagine now where you have to constantly have a social media presence. Instagram, of any, whatever, but you can't fuck it up. You can't say anything wrong or you'll screw up. And like, oh, God, I can't imagine.
But you're still, I've seen so many people be vilified also for not saying things.
Yeah. There's no way to win.
I feel like, not really. It's really, I don't even know how do you even function? I don't know.
Yeah, and none of it has to do with the craft. It has nothing to do with acting.
Nope.
It's terrible. And one of the sticking points in the show is that Dave is apparently a better actor than Johnny.
Everyone.
Yeah. And he just cannot, no matter what he does, get a break. He cannot get on the show. He's just constantly standing. He cannot pay his bills. He's bounces from couch to couch, trying to find some way to keep going. And like, there's even that point where in the final episode where he finally gets on the show, and because of a whole cast switcheroo thing, he gets it, but then he's out because the guy shows up in time, and that's one of the big bummers too.
Well, so much of it's circumstantial, and he keeps working so hard, but then the selfishness of the other people screw him.
Yeah. And then there's the whole arc where he's Hunter's assistant and then becomes her boyfriend, and then he's like, this is miserable bullshit, I'm breaking up with you, and then she makes his life hell because of it. Mm-hmm. Ugh, how dare you break up with me? I'm the star!
You're just an extra.
And the guy that you can't stand, Nate Faxon, he's got a mush face. And I think this is like the only kind of role that I've ever accepted him in is the smush face.
I did end up liking him better after watching this, but most of the time there's something about him that I want to punch him in the face.
Well, at Beer Fest, when he's like one of the angry German brothers, that's appropriate. I want to punch him in the face too.
The reason why I want to punch him in the face is because of his part in Orange County.
Yeah, which that reminds me is that's coming up probably in about a month or so.
Well, Dave and Kevin are in it. How about that?
Well, it's Jake Kasdan is the director of that, and he directs, I think, 4 episodes of the show. They got some decent names. Andrew Fleming is the guy who, whoever directs the pilot is the one who sets the look and the tone. Sure. And Andrew Fleming had just come off of doing Dick, the movie Dick. There's no way for this to come out right. Either I'm saying he's doing Dick as in he's doing nothing, doing Dick he's doing porn, or doing Dick the movie Dick about Richard Nixon.
Lose statement.
Yeah. So Jake Kasdan and then Peyton Reed, the director of Bring It On, were the 3 main guys on this. Allison Anders also directed a couple episodes. She's an independent. She had done, I think, Gas, Food, and Lodging, and a couple others. But so they actually had some legitimate names coming in for this show, and I think it has to do with the material, but 2, Darren Star was established and hot at that time because of Sex and the City, so you could call in favors. But I think
she's doing a lot of TV now, but like quality TV.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the way a lot of directors. If you can't, I think there's a frustration in getting a movie going, especially if it's something new. It's not based on a project that's already, like, oh, it's a remake or based on a comic or based on a book or something. And if you want an original concept, it's really hard to get going, but you want to keep your director, flow going, you go to TV.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the not cameos, but like supporting roles that, not in every episode, but we had Michael Hitchcock, who I think most people know from Best in Show, right? He's the one that dog. He was.
Yeah, for sure.
What the fuck is her name? Parker Posey's husband or whatever. So, and he
Yes,
plays the dad, but he's clearly in love with Johnny. He's always finding ways to see
him. He's obsessed with him. It's so creepy. He's like, yeah, I'm just here on set to... No, I'm not filming today. I'm just here for support.
Jolie Fisher, who I feel like she was meant to be a regular on the show, and for some reason the studio maybe saw that she was superfluous. In
the notes it said she left to go do a different show.
Oh, okay. Because she's in the first 3 or 4, and the nice part is it kind of works because there was a breaking point in the episode before that where she's really sick and tired of the studio meddling, so it makes sense that she would quit the next week. And then I think the last role, whatever, is Marin Dungy, who I feel like was at every TV show at this point.
She's been in every TV show ever made of all time. Ever.
Yeah, I think she was literally on 4 shows in 1 year. She was in this. She was a semi-regular on King of Queens, Alias, and Malcolm in the Middle. That's a lot of work. And that's just off the top of my head what I know of.
Jesus, she just has done everything. Lucifer, a voice on Bob's Burgers, American Horror Story. She's done it fucking all.
Yeah. So that's the main cast of the show and the characters. I really think that the Warner Brothers, or no, it's Columbia that produced this. They sold it to WB. I just wish it had a little more time. I don't think it's the kind of show that could have gone for like 5 seasons. But I think there was room to breathe for at least a couple more, and it seems like the kind of thing that would have worked perfectly on cable, like 3 seasons of like 10 episodes. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, the more common formatting for TV shows now on, cable networks and stuff, it's like between 10 and 13 episodes would have probably suited this a lot better.
Yeah. And less restrictions with not the MPA. That's for movies. The whatever the review board is that says whether or not you can have this on network television or you'll get fined. Mm-hmm. Let them loose a little bit. That would have been a lot more fun. But I still say it's very worth it if you just want to check it out. All the episodes are on YouTube for free and decent quality.
Oh yeah, it was super. It's actually probably the best thing I've ever tried to watch on YouTube. And for the first time, also there was every single episode was there, and I just like binged them. Like it's just such a bingeable show. It's so good and funny and ridiculous, and it's 20 minutes. So in 2-3 days I watched all the episodes. Yeah. It's definitely worth it.
I mean, if we had more time in our lives and it wasn't as complicated, there's some shows from the 80s and 90s that went on for a very long time that I would love to discuss, but I don't see how. Family Ties, or especially the Facts of Life. That really covers teenage years, especially since there's so few shows focused on girls. But the thing was on for like 9 years. And that 24 episodes a season, basically, that's impossible. We would be old. We finally finished Facts of Life. They're still podcasting.
I guess if you wanted to focus on one thing and one thing only, you could do it. But
that's the kind of thing. But it's easy to do shows like this that were 1 season or close to it. Like My So-Called Life will eventually come up on the show, I'm sure, because that was barely a full season. That's easier to do. Mm-hmm. But thank you everybody for listening to this. Mindy, thank you very much. And
you're welcome.
Check us out on Facebook under Hit Rewind. Same thing for Twitter and all of your podcast hosts. Like, share, comment, let us know how we're doing. And if there's any suggestions for something we haven't done yet, hit us up. That's it. Good night.